Now we're going to bring back Nandhini, who is the Education Chair for the upcoming SIGGRAPH 2025 conference. And Ginger Alford is here as well. Oh, Ginger, thank you so much for taking the time. For those that may not know, Ginger is the chair of the SIGGRAPH 2025 conference coming up in Vancouver this summer. I will also credit that I would not be here involved with SIGGRAPH if it wasn't for Ginger. Ginger is the one who, dragged me kicking and screaming into the education committee to begin with. Every time I went to a SIGGRAPH conference, she was like, "Have you heard the good news about SIGGRAPH educators?" and definitely, you know, it got me into the committee in the first place, and now it's wonderful and amazing to see you chairing the entire conference coming up. And Nandhini, thank you for taking the time. So, I would love to hear from the two of you, and share that about what's coming up, and there's still time to submit to for the programs, right?
Yes.
Oh, Nick,
Take it
thank
away.
you. It's so fun to see you. And yeah, I love the educators. I miss you guys. And I am so excited that you let me talk you into joining and getting so involved, because you have just brought some amazing things to SIGGRAPH and the educators group, and these soirees are amazing. So yeah, what fun. It's so fun to see where all this goes. But yes, things are really getting moving quickly. So we'll be in Vancouver on August 10th through the 14th. The submissions are open, and all of our programs kind of have different deadlines. We've already gotten really record numbers, the highest number of technical paper submissions. We've gotten the record number of art paper submissions. Those have closed. The art gallery has closed, and those numbers are really sky high as well. And right now we have general submissions open, and they'll be open until February 18th. And that includes courses, panels, talks, and of course, everything that is part of the educators program that I know Nandhini will tell you more about. But those numbers right now are looking really strong too. So exciting.
Do you have any overall theme for the conference in general this
Yeah,
year?
we're really looking towards the future. You know, we've just been we've envisioned our last 50 years. It was wonderful to see what we've achieved. What I really am trying to focus on is having this community look to the future boldly and think about how we're going to create that future together. And it's a future where data and graphics we are immersed in our own data. We are the data, in fact. And so just the immersions of our physical world, ourselves with the data, and how we have almost fluid boundaries between what is data and what is real. Is this world of digital twins, this world of immersive environments, augmented reality, the ability of our computing platforms and the tools we've developed over 50 years, I think are poising us at a very exciting place to create an exciting future. So we're squarely in the future where we're completely immersed in our worlds and kind of can move fluidly between them.
It is amazing that 50 years ago that SIGGRAPH started, and it was such an you had to imagine what it would be like to have day-to-day interaction with computer graphics and interaction with computers in general. And now
Yeah.
we have realized that future. We're all carrying computer graphics interaction devices in our pockets all the time, wearing them on our wrists. And
Unthinkable.
I think that it's phenomenal that it is now part of everyday life for general, consumers. And what does that mean for us as educators, Nandini? And where are you? What do you envision
Mm.
for this year's educators program?
Yeah, I would just say, like as Ginger mentioned about co-creating this future, I think today's event was really proving that as educators, we are really looking into the advanced technology, not just within film or certain elements, but kind of moving beyond boundaries into different disciplines and applications. So SIGGRAPH 2025 Educators Forum is really kind of, like a one-day soiree event moving into different days, and there's going to be a lot of content. We have an Educators Day on Monday. So last year we had around 8 presentations where this was an industry academic collaboration involving different companies on virtual production and like even photogrammetry. So this year we are in Vancouver. It's the dynamic, vibrant area. So we are looking forward to more partnerships where industries in the Vancouver area can talk to these educators. So that's one of the highlights of the program. And again, I would also like to send you the link for the submission. It's open and the deadline is Feb 18th. So I recommend all the presenters from today to be able to go to this link and submit your proposals. I also encourage the audience to, if you have any ideas, please reach out to me, and please change your ideas into proposals that can be shared in the Educators Forum. I think I'll also talk a little bit about the format. Before that, let me just
Yes, please do.
send the link so you can look at what I'm talking about. So I've just sent the Educators Forum link, so you can just look at it and read through it. We have multiple formats, so this could be an engaging assignment, so something that you've implemented in class. Like today we had a range of topics on how you introduce new techniques in classrooms, or even something to do with like speed running assignment that Cheryl was talking about. So any interesting pedagogical approaches, or it could be some kind of a talk, which is a case study on, again, like technologies applied in new disciplines. Like, there was talks about retail and fashion design today. There's also panels. So these are more kind of bringing in more speakers together, talking about conversations that we don't usually talk in classrooms, like deeper reflections. And we also have courses. So there's the courses, which is separate, but these are about how do you bring best practices to teach educators on how to teach certain concepts. So again, I encourage you to go through the website on all the different formats, and please do check out the how to submit and the evaluation tabs, because that explains what we are looking for. So it will provide you with more guidelines.
Yeah, I was going to say that I think that, one of the newer kind of under the radar portions of the program you mentioned was the Educators Day. And, our Ginger's talking about boldly going into the future. I think there's a huge opportunity there because for industry entities to connect with educators. In the traditional talks, it's all, submitted and it's fully juried and all. And this is a way that an industry can essentially, sponsor an opportunity to talk directly to educators. I know that there are a lot of partnerships in the education space where, it's a new technology, it's, boldly going into the future, but it needs to gain traction in industry. And students, meanwhile, have lots of time to learn new technologies. That's literally what they're all about. And being able to expose their teachers to these new opportunities that they can bring into the classroom, and then the students graduate into industry and they're in a studio that's trying to solve a problem. It's like, we got this thing, we had this thing in school. Like, you don't have that yet. Like, you should go find out about that. And so that's a really great opportunity. And that's really newer. Like, I guess it was Monica Capiello, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly, was the first education chair to have that. And I think that was the first time that happened was in Vancouver. So it's coming around again.
Yeah, I think this is going to be the 4th year, and we're all even having some good lineups coming together. We're also planning to have some kind of connecting events, so it goes beyond just the sessions, to have these conversations continuing and also be having some opportunities to talk with these presenters.
Yeah, I love how you're putting together the program into these. I think that they've kind of all existed this way informally, but now that you've got this delineated, it's really clear. And I think that being in Vancouver, there's a lot of opportunity for a lot of people to come. I think often the West Coast events are very well attended, and there's
Mhm.
so much opportunity for conversation in the hallways and running into people that you only get to see that once a year at SIGGRAPH. Fantastic. So thank you both for taking the time to come and visit. I don't know if there's anything more that either of you would like to add or share about, or what is
I would
the
like to make a, yeah, I just to bounce off this, both the ideas that it's wonderful to meet in person. I find it energizing every year. I just come away with such energy. But I also know that really this educators group is global, you know, and to see some people here today, it, traveling around the globe might be hard. One of the great things about the Educators Day that you have been talking about, Nick, and that you're putting together, Nandhini, that helps our students learn current skills, so that they're fresh and always up to date and ready to be productive in the workforce. The Educators Day program, we are also putting in capacity to, we'll film that. And so a stream of those sessions is available after the conference, and we provide that to the suppliers who are providing the training. And so those links and those recordings and that content is available beyond the conference too. So you can even, you know, when you're at the conference, you can go back home and have access to the recording to share in your classroom. But also, if you're not able to attend, you have access to that great content too, like today. That's, you guys are
I
doing
have
an
to say
amazing job building this virtual community. So jazzed
it
about
is it is a huge value add that I never anticipated,
it. Mhm.
honestly, because one of the biggest challenges of attending SIGGRAPH is like, wow, which session do I go to? Like, these are the 3 sessions that I would like
Okay.
to be at right now. And you have to pick one because you only exist in one place at a time. But I have to confess that after this last year's conference, there was so much available to attendees. So you attended in person, and included in that attendance was access to the virtual content afterwards. So I actually attended I did multiple sessions per time slot that way, cheating the universe a little bit.
I
Um,
think we did emphasize when talking to the companies to actually have some takeaways and handout material. So that's when we came up with this QR code so the audience can, not just listen to the talk, but also take away some of the material for their own classrooms and continued
Perfect.
learning. So I think that was very well welcomed.
And I'll share as, entirely. I granted I'm a biased educator, biased towards SIGGRAPH stuff, but I think that a message I would share with educators is that Education Day, the content is not at all, hey, we're here to sell you this thing. It is very much of like, here's an opportunity for you to bring into your classroom. And it isn't always even solutions providers, because
Right.
it's not unusual at all for major studios. I know that Disney and Pixar have done Education Day presentations, and it's this opportunity to get face to face with recruiters and hiring leads that are sharing, like, this is what we're looking for, this is our favorite stuff, we hope to see more of this from your students. So it's a really fantastic day for educators to attend and be part of, on the receiving side of that content as well. Fantastic. So again, just do either of you have anything else that you'd like to add or share about the conference?
Oh,
I guess
I wondered if there were any questions or thoughts or
Uh-huh.
visioning
Yeah,
or any ideas. I'd love to hear if anybody is um, wants to
I
share their
think.
own thoughts about.
I guess one question I have, just because I'm not looking at the page right now. So
I
when
think.
is the official deadline of submissions for the Educators Forum?
Yeah, so the official deadline is Feb 18th. So I've
So
just
a
put
little
up,
over 2 weeks.
yes, a little over 2 weeks. So, like first time submitters, if you have any questions, please reach out to me. And this will be going through the unified jury process, and you'll be hearing about the results sometime in early May. So that's the timeline.
Okay. And there is a question about, does anyone have newsletters, discords? things that that you connect to throughout the year in between soirees and SIGGRAPH conferences to stay up on this kind of thing. And so, I mean, Ginger and Nandhini, you're both educators. Any thoughts? Have you come across any of those? I think, Glenn, you're the chair for our education committee.
There
Is there?
are that we are. Our website is being redeveloped. It should be ready, soon. I don't have a scale for what soon means yet, but I hope we'll be able to communicate more through that. If you're not signed up to be on our listserv, please do that. We send out announcements of upcoming programs, deadlines through the listserv. There are people who have sent out job notices, and we've had people who have found jobs based on the announcements from the listserv. Even in our university, we advertised once, and the person who ended up getting hired found their job from the listserv posting. There's also there's a monthly newsletter that is sent out by SIGGRAPH, and we are now part of that. So anything that we have going on can go through there. But as I said in the very beginning, if there is something that you think anyone thinks that would be a good idea to add to our collection of activities and is willing to actually do some work with it and promote that, your help is always welcome. Please email me. Our next meeting as a committee is on Tuesday afternoon. Well, depending on where you are, it's Tuesday, and we are always looking for people to do things. Just as Ginger's looking for people for the conference, we are involved in the conference, but also in year-round activities, including SIGGRAPH and SIGGRAPH Asia. So depending on where you are in the world and what you're interested in doing, we are probably going to be able to find a way for you to participate. So that would be really great if people would just contact. Again, it's glenn.siggraph@gmail.com. I'll put that in the chat so that anyone can get a hold of me. And I would love to hear from.
I think I wanted to offer one other a suggestion here, and that is to know that SIGGRAPH has an extremely robust and vibrant student chapters organization. And so these are student clubs at schools that then they stay together, they're networked together. There are opportunities for students to volunteer at the conference. And of course, there's two conferences. There's the North American conference that happens in summer, and then there's a conference in Asia in the winter. I think that tends to be in December. And both of those conferences are nexus for in-person activity. But I know I find it fantastic to stay connected. I advise the student club at my institution, and they're in constant contact with various parts of the ongoing SIGGRAPH community in general. And so that's a fantastic way as an educator to stay connected. And then also, what's that?
If there's certain requirements that you'll have to have in order to create a student chapter and a certain amount of participation. Depending on where you are, there are also professional chapters. They're all grouped together as student and professional chapters. And we started out being involved in the New York City professional chapter, and then we have our own student chapter. But I found that students participate in both our school, the NJT student chapter, as well as the New York City professional chapter. So you can check of what is available around your neighborhood. If you are interested in starting a student chapter, you can contact me or Kevin McNulty from Middle Tennessee State University, who is our liaison to the chapters committee, and he will set you up on what you need to start a chapter and get people involved. And there are often programs that are put online that one chapter will open up. So they may have a guest speaker and they'll have it online and they'll open it up to other student chapters. I know our students have participated in others that way. So there are ways to get involved year round.
Wonderful. Okay. Well, I know, Ginger, you have crazy swirly schedule right now. And so thank you so much for taking out the time to be able to visit us and share about the conference coming up. I really appreciate it.
Oh, thanks
And
for
it is
inviting me. It was my
wonderful to see
absolute
you again.
pleasure. I look forward
Oh,
to seeing you guys in Vancouver.
Thank you, Ginger.
Can't wait to see
thank
you.
you. And this is actually, if anyone who's a panelist is connected right now, go ahead and turn on your cameras. So we can get a group grid shot here going. And
Stick around for this.
there we go. Like, so everyone has camera ability. Let's see, there's 7 attendees. I'm promoting everybody to panelists so that everyone is allowed to turn on their cameras, keep it clean, all that good stuff. But I'd love to get a group shot here at the end of our session here. So I'm just making sure that all of the attendees that are connected right now are getting promoted to panelists so we can all turn on our cameras and wave.
We've lost a few participants, but over
Oh,
the
yeah.
day, but this has been a well-attended event throughout the day. We are grateful for those of you who have stuck it out for the entire time. It is truly wonderful to have everybody involved like this.
All right. I'm going to do a screenshot in 3, 2, 1, smile. There we go. Hopefully that actually took a picture. I don't know how to
Thanks
do
so
that.
much.
Okay. Thank you,
Thank you.
everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.